celebrity chase.
Welcome to the Chase Arena.
It's coming to prime time on 7.
For the last 31 years, Red Nose Day has made a push for our pennies, all in the name of putting a stop to sudden infant death syndrome. This year, they're upping the ante with a new goal, reducing stillbirth rates by 20% in the next 5 to 10 years.
Alarmingly, one baby is stillborn every 4 hours in Australia. Now, with your help, the medical team are devising a blood test to predict pregnancies most at risk, to make sure every parent has the opportunity to take their baby home from hospital.
And for more, we're joined by Professor Craig Pennell from the University of Newcastle, the Hunter Medical Research Institute, and Chair of Red Nose Australia's National Scientific Advisory Group, along with singer-songwriter Amber Lawrence. Good afternoon to you both. Terrific to have you in. Craig, let's start with you. Certainly some scary statistics there, isn't there? One Australian baby stillborn every 4 hours. Do we have any understanding as to why?
Yep. So the data is scary, it's terrifying, and probably even more scary as it hasn't changed for 25 years. Now we know that the causes of stillbirth fit broadly into 6 different categories, but the bottom category is the unknown group, and that is probably somewhere between 20 and 30% of the cases where we're there with a woman who's had a stillbirth and we just have to sit there and say we don't know why. And we want to find out the answers, but today all we can do is provide you with support.
So at the moment you're working towards a blood test that could potentially give maybe indication the woman's at risk of stillbirth. How does that work?
So I have the opportunity to work with a great team of people, including my mentor, Roger Smith, who thinks outside of the box. And we live in a world where everyone is obsessed with ageing. No one wants to age, and we have anti-aging cream and anti-aging everything. And so the thought was, well, maybe we need to tackle placental ageing. And so everyone's placenta ages. They essentially become non-functional after 41 to 42 weeks. But for some women, that could be happening at 34, 35, 36, 37 weeks. And so we're working towards having a test that can be applied to every woman at around 36 weeks in pregnancy, which will say your placenta's great and you can keep going for the rest of your pregnancy, versus yours is starting to fail, and giving clinicians, doctors, midwives the opportunity to act at the right time for the right woman to deliver a healthy baby and a healthy mum.
Amber, you've been a great supporter of Red Nose Day. You've been an ambassador for the last 3 years now. Since you've welcomed little Ike into the world, he's now 1. Just explain how, I guess, things have changed for you, you know, thinking about parenting and child safety in that time.
Absolutely. It becomes so real, and I do remember the very first night he was born, I slept with my hand in the bassinet on his chest, because you're just so fearful. But education is what we have, and luckily for me, being an ambassador, I knew where to look, and the Red Nose website tells you all the things to do, and also to let anyone who's taking care of your baby know, because things have changed in the last 20, 30 years since my mum or mother-in-law were parenting. So, you know, just simple things like nothing in the cot, and baby on its back, and, you know, baby in the room with you. It's just every night, you know, for that first year is that worry, and you just
the
make
website
sure.
goes through all of that, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It lists out all the things you should do and shouldn't do, and it's very clear, and it's such a great help for any stressful parent, and who isn't a stressful parent in that first year.
I still check that my children are breathing in their 3 and 5, so don't feel bad. It's a normal, natural thing to do. There is obviously a big push to educate parents and carers about safe sleeping, and as you mentioned, sometimes grandparents or other people, they might say, oh no, it was fine, look at you've survived. But we really need to keep at this, because the results have obviously been incredible from this campaign.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I think Red Nose has done something which is truly extraordinary. I'm not aware of any organisation who has worked to reduce the rate of a condition by 85%.
It's amazing.
And SIDS and SUDI has reduced by that amount. There were more than 500 babies dying a year from SIDS 30 years ago. Now it's down to very small numbers, a huge reduction, but we need to tackle that for stillbirth, and we can do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and the goal is 20% reduction in the next 5 to 10 years. So for people watching today, to both of you, what's a take-home message that we can leave with today just on this issue?
Oh, for me, educate yourself. Look up, go to the Red Nose website, look it up, and tell those who are caring for your baby as well, because it's not just enough for you and your partner to know. The people that have your child when you're working need to know as well.
Craig?
Yep. In terms of stillbirth, I think there are 6 really simple messages. The first thing is, if you can, try and have your babies earlier in life, because it is safer. As much as we'd like to acknowledge that people's lifestyles are changing, it is safer and we can't get around that.
Yep.
Providing a smoke-free environment in pregnancy is also really, really, really important. Trying to be as fit and healthy at the start of your pregnancy also matters. We need to educate hospitals, doctors, midwives that fetal growth restriction and quiet babies matter.
Yep.
And then when you are pregnant, seek care early.
Yes.
If you don't understand what you're being told, for example, our patients with different languages, get yourself an interpreter. And then,
so if in doubt, get checked out. The worst thing can be is wasting a couple of hours of your time, and it's never a waste when it comes to kids. Thank you so much for both of you. A really important message. For more information and how you can donate to the great work done by Red Nose, head across to our website.
And don't forget, Amber's new album, Spark, is available now through ABC Music. And